What's going on, everybody? So I wanted to talk about: are you old enough to rank game series? In this particular video, I'm going to talk about Zelda. So if you were born in like the mid '90s or the early 2000s or the mid 2000s, let's say you're 22 years old right now. You played through a few Zeldas. Can you realistically make videos about doing tier list of what the best Zelda game was versus the worst? And in my opinion, it's hard to say you can, give a fair assessment of older games. Like, if you didn't grow up playing Nintendo and you look at it, like, you might have an appreciation for those 8-bit types of games, but I've been seeing games like, especially Ocarina of Time, get a lot of slack for, like, those Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1 games not holding up over time. Games like Medieval, which is one of my favorite games, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, games out of that series get kind of downplayed. And I want to tell everybody, Ocarina of Time, when it first came out, had just as much magic to it as Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. Like, the way you looked at it, story, gravitating to the story, the treasure maps, finding clues, every feeling that you probably got from playing Breath of the Wild was the same type of feeling that most of us got playing Ocarina of Time for the first time. I know a lot of people say, hey, well, I like Link to the Past. That's probably because a lot of those 16-bit types of games still get made to this day. Like, a lot of indie developers like remake or try to remix those types of games. And so, in my opinion, I just don't think the way you're looking at the game isn't how somebody who's been around since like the beginning or is able to appreciate how it looked back then. It's going to be totally different. It's going to be totally different feelings. And younger people could probably say the same thing about people that's been around, saying, hey, you're probably just attached to this because because it holds fondness to the past and nostalgia and whatnot. I still enjoy, I still play every Zelda that comes out. And this just doesn't apply to Zelda. This applies to things like, Resident Evil. They've been making a lot of remakes lately. I can't just say because the graphics are updated on the game that it's better. Like, I can't say Tears of the Kingdom is better than Ocarina of Time, in my opinion. I can't go that far. I just can't do it. I can't. Like, the feelings I got when I played both of them. I played both of them beginning to end. Did a lot of the extras. I'm not even putting Tears of the Kingdom above Majora's Mask. I can't do it. Breath of the Wild is a different story, and I'm gonna make a video a little later on about my specific tier list of Zeldas, my favorite, my least favorites. Now, you can make a video, you can make any type of video you want, but it's reasonable to make a video like saying, hey, this is my opinion, these are the Zeldas that I enjoyed. Also, just before I leave, you can't make these videos if you didn't beat the game. Like, if you didn't beat A Link to the Past, you can't do the video. Like, you just can't. At least play through the game, beat the game. I'm not saying go do every little extra in the game, but you have to at least complete the game. You can't give it a you can't. That's like, oh, I played Breath of the Wild 60%, played Tears of the Kingdom 40%. I like this one more versus this one. Like, you haven't completed the game. Tears of the Kingdom, in my opinion, started off real slow, but it picked up like towards like the last 30% of the game, and it was mind blowing. So, if you're gonna go back and do these tier list reviews, I would suggest you take the time and complete the game. Even if you got to use a ROM, and I'd say do a cheat or something like that, so where you get unlimited hearts. At least that way you're still experience in the game and you get to complete it. I know older games are much harder than newer games, so it's probably a struggle to defeat that, you know, to beat that original Zelda, the Zelda 2, Link to the Past. That's what walkthroughs are for. When you're struggling with the game, just use the walkthrough. There's no shame in it, you know. At least you're getting some type of enjoyment out of those older titles. So thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Talk to you later.